Welcome to episode 105. I am Kathy Rhodes, and I'm excited to think differently with you today. Today, we're going to think differently about retirement and work. Okay, so the whole title of this session is retirement, something I don't recommend that you do, even though I've done it twice now. Okay, so let's just start with a good old-fashioned definition from my friend Google. What does retirement even mean? I looked up the definition. It means to leave one's job and cease to work. To leave one's job and cease to work. So 3 years ago, I made a huge announcement that I was retiring from corporate America. And that was the transition that I was going through out of corporate America, out of a full-time employment type of status, into entrepreneurship and into my own employment, my own business. And I was really shocked because as I talked to friends and family members and strangers or people that acquaintances, I guess, people that just knew me, as I talked to these people throughout the next few months, the questions they were asking me kind of confused me because they'd ask things like, how is retirement? What are you doing with all your time? Or here's one, here's a really good one. You're really too young to retire. I was shocked because I wasn't really retiring like lifelong retirement. I was just retiring from corporate America. Be careful how you use certain words because it might take on a different definition. Retiring from corporate America meant that I was just ceasing working for somebody else. But I was continuing to work for myself, which really means you're working more. You're working more hours, you're working with a different vision and a different intensity. Well, the same kind of thing is happening right now because after 20 years, I have made a really tough decision to hang up my direct selling apron. And it is a play on words because I've been a Pampered Chef consultant for 20 years. And I'm choosing to hang up my apron and retire from Pampered Chef. And I'm getting the same kind of questions. Well, what are you going to do with your time? Oh, this will be good for you to just kind of enjoy life a little bit. Oh, I'm not ceasing working. Definitely not. I'm just not going to work as a Pampered Chef consultant anymore. So, I kind of have a sarcastic or cynical side to me, a little bit of I call sense of humor. And I like using some words like retirement because it's really tongue in cheek. I am way too young to retire, but I don't have it in me to cease working. I like to work. And it's just where I find productivity, I find enjoyment. So that'll really never happen in my life. I'm never going to fully retire. There's always something to do. But like the definition says, to leave that job and cease to work, I'm just retiring from that company. Okay. I have done this twice now, right? I am leaving that job. I'm ceasing to work in that position, but I'm not ceasing to work in my life. I was once told that when you say yes to something, you have to say no to something else. I guess when you look at a calendar or when you look at a clock, you physically can't double book yourself. You can't be in two places at once. You can't do two things at once, even though people think multitasking is something they can be an expert at. Sorry, you can't. That's a different topic. But think of the physicalness of it. You can't be in two places at once. So it makes sense. When I say yes to something, I am going to say no to something else. And this is exactly it. There's choices to make. If I want to grow in my leadership consulting business, if I want to really dive into my online learning program and create more online learning programs, add 2 more superpowers to the current online learning program, well, that time has to come from somewhere. And that's where I really had to take a look at everything on my plate and evaluate where my passion is, where my vision is, and where I want to go next and where I want to put my time into. So that's why I've chosen to change my path a little bit. That's where I'm envisioning going next. But, when you say yes to one thing, you do have to say no to something else. You do have to set some boundaries in your life, and you can't do it all. That's definitely against my original beliefs in life. When I was younger, when the kids were younger, I firmly believed I could do it all. And I really tried. And I kind of succeeded at times, but it was always to sacrifice something else, whether it was my sleep, whether it was time with my family, whether it was the energy and the focus in my job. There was something that was always sacrificed. So to be honest, it feels really good to practice something that I've been preaching for years. Focus is valuable, but we have to set up boundaries. We have to choose to live by those boundaries. Now, just yesterday, I got a new book in the mail. I'm very excited about it. It's by Jeff Henderson, and he's written another book called Know What You're For. This book that just arrived yesterday is called What to Do Next: Taking Your Best Step When Life is Uncertain. Your guide to pursuing your best next step in life and work. I giggled. I mean, I pre-ordered this like 6 weeks ago. I knew it was coming, but I giggled when I read it because, to be honest, 6 weeks ago, I didn't know for sure if I was going to retire from Pampered Chef. So this book has a whole new meaning to me. I haven't even started reading it, but the title alone has a whole new meaning to me. I'm really excited to dig in. Here's another subtitle: Reevaluate your purpose and determine your best next step. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. So if you need a resource, that just came out yesterday. It's a great resource to dig into. I'll tell you more about it later once I get my fingers into it. But there's definitely resources out there just to make us a better retiree and a better worker in whatever adventure is going forward. What does retirement not mean to me? Well, it doesn't mean that I'm sitting back eating bonbons on a beach. That's not what it means at all. It also doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to have more time on my hands. I'm just choosing to use that time differently. I'm choosing to use that time in a very intentional way. And really, that's what it's all about. It's being intentional with the path that you have in front of you. So just yesterday I was listening to a webinar and I heard John Maxwell remind me of something I've heard many times. When you're choosing a new path, make sure you're going to something, not running away from something. Many times, especially when I was younger, I would feel within myself, I would say things that were, I'm just going to quit. I'm done with this. I'm so done with it. I can't wait to get rid of this out of my life. That's running away from something. That's not being intentional and going to something. So whatever phase of life you're in, have that intentionality. Have that purposefulness in your path. Sometimes we are, I guess, surprised with a change. And I've been downsized before in companies that I've worked for. I get what it's like to be surprised with a change in your life. My goodness, the change might be good. It might be a new baby coming, or it might be a proposal, or the change might be bad or shocking. But yet we still have intentionality that we can choose. We still can be purposeful. And many times for me, I have to really sit back and just think about, what do I want my purpose in life to be? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go next? Life isn't just happening to me. Life is going to happen through me. What do I want to happen? Where do I want to go? And how do I want to direct it? So wherever you are in life, whatever change or transition might be happening, whether you feel it's good or bad at this moment, I challenge you to think differently, to choose a green path to your thoughts, to choose a path that's going to be empowering to you. Choose where you want to go, be intentional, and go to something. Don't just run away from something. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here today. I hope that I have challenged you to think differently. I hope I've challenged you, your thinking habits, so that you are feeling fully empowered in the life that's yours. It's not just whatever somebody else wants from you. It's your life. You choose it. You guys be great. Be great today. Be great this week. I look forward to talking to you next week about a new topic where we'll just do a little more thinking differently. See you next time.